guys, it's Britt. Today we're here to talk about a TikTok creator that recently exposed the Carter Agency as allegedly a big old scam. So I wanted to talk to you guys about it. And she's also released the roster of all of the people that this agency allegedly represents or represented at the time of her making the video, which was a couple of weeks ago. But it is quite shocking. It's making its rounds all over TikTok, and the Dr. D was listed on the roster. So I had quite a few thoughts. If you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so I'm going to be citing this article, and even though I'm not going to read all of it, I will link it down below in case you want to read it from top to bottom for yourself if this is interesting to you. Influencers signing on with agencies, talent agencies, is not anything new. This has been happening for ages, and in the beginning it was YouTubers, and then it went over to Instagram, and then more recently TikTok. And any platform where you're creating content for an audience, if you're getting attention and clicks and views on that content, then chances are some kind of agency is going to come into your inbox at one point in time and try to get you to sign on as one of their pieces of talent, basically, so the idea of the agency is not new, but unfortunately, where there's clout, clicks, and views, there are also people that are looking to make an extra penny, and it's not always transparent, it's not always honest, and unfortunately, when it comes to agencies, some of them are not necessarily following the rules and being completely transparent, and they're just using the income of the influencer in order to float their own fabulous lifestyles. And then we come to people like this where there are some pretty big allegations, and I'm going to read the article, the pieces that I took away from it. Then I'm obviously going to show you her video where she shows the roster. And I also want to talk about this because there were only, based on my memory, there were only 2 people that I recognized on the roster that she released, but we're going to talk all about it. So this article that was released on .la says influencer, and her name is spelled Nike, but based on my personal research, her name is pronounced Nikè. Please correct me if I'm wrong. If you know her, if I'm pronouncing it wrong, I do apologize. It's not malicious. It's just that I wanted to look and see how it was pronounced, and that was what I understood. But she was surprised when a young content creator reached out to her about her experience working with the Carter Agency. The content creator had apparently seen her name on the agency's roster and wanted to know how helpful they had been in helping her navigate brand deals. The problem was Nikè, who had nearly 500,000 followers on TikTok, had never even heard of the Carter Agency, let alone worked with them. So she sent an email inquiring about why the agency had her listed as one of their influencers. She received a response from a person by the name of Ben Popkin, who had claimed to be the CEO of the Carter Agency that lists Netflix, Amazon, Disney, and Prada as a few of their strategic partners. In the email, Popkin explained that he had previously worked with her through a different PR agency and apologized for the mix-up. Then he pivoted to a new proposition. He could help her get 2 $5,000 brand partnership deals. She agreed to the details of the agreement and completed 2 campaigns with Popkin as the middleman. A few weeks later, Popkin reached out again. This time, it was a different offer from Clinique, a skincare brand that Nikè had worked with in the past. In June, he wrote me to say that Clinique had offered me two campaigns for $1,900. I've been working with Clinique for 6 years. Clinique knows not to put anything in front of me for less than $6,000. Not interested in lowering her standard rate for a product campaign, she declined the deal and informed Popkin she no longer needed his assistance. In the subsequent months, however, she noticed that something was wrong. Similar to the situation with Clinique, brands that had previously offered her campaigns worth thousands of dollars were offering her campaigns at much lower rates. One of those brands was Naturium, a skincare company run by Susan Yara. who is a personal friend of this influencer, when she reached out to ask why the offer had been so much lower than their past partnership deals, Yara informed her that she had never spoken to Popkin and was unaware of any such offer that had been issued. The malpractice of influencer agencies has, as of lately, been well reported. In 2020, talent management firm Influences came under fire over the claims that the company did not pay its clients. According to the New York Times, the firm owed dozens of content creators thousands of dollars from brand deals. One of those influencers claimed that the company withheld $23,683 from her. Influence's former owner is currently suing the New York Times over defamation. It also goes over some other influencers that have had issues with these talent agencies. But let's get back to Nikè. So it continues and says that her experience with the Carter agency shows a different offense. He's, referring to that guy Popkin, is telling the brand that he's representing me. Then he's telling me that he's representing the brands. It's a very violating feeling and very vulnerable. You ask yourself, how stupid was I, over and over again? Like so many other influencers that find themselves victims of unethical behavior, she took her allegations straight to TikTok. In the first of 5 videos, the influencer claims that Popkin was not only pretending to be her manager, but he had been operating under a pseudonym. Looking back on the low offers that she had been accepting from brands, she now believes that Popkin was attempting to pocket the difference after sending her only a portion of what the brands were really offering. And it closes out by saying, in total, the Carter agency's actions have affected more than 130 influencers, including those signed to Popkin's company and those who he has falsely claimed to represent. She also claims that the Carter agency has potentially jeopardized nearly $60,000 in brand deals by pretending to represent her. She's currently pursuing a civil lawsuit and has opened up a criminal investigation into the company. So now let's go back over to her TikTok and take a look at what she had to say in early December about the Carter agency. So this is where things get interesting. She went ahead and decided to release this roster that allegedly shows all of the influencers that are represented by the Carter agency, which, as we know, has a lot of questions and red flags surrounding it.
After much thought and consideration, I have chosen to publish the MMG group roster, Carter agency roster, in this particular video. You know, for the past month, I've had few influencers message me, constantly asking me, you know, are they on this roster? Are they on this roster? Are they on this roster? And I just got sick of looking up their names in this roster. And so I'm going to go ahead and publish it. A lot of other publications are going to be publishing it over the next month as well. It's going to be a very public roster. With that said, you will not bully me, nor would you ask me to take it down. It will never come down. I have never taken a single video down in my life, and I will not start now. As you guys know, I'm not a coward. And so it's going to stay up forever. If you write a negative comment underneath it, not only will I delete it, I will block you as well. If you are an influencer or you're on that roster, you have a problem with it, have your lawyer contact me. I have no fear. I want you guys to know this for sure, with certainty. I don't process fear like other human beings do towards other human beings. I don't process it. So you can't scare me. You can't bully me. You can't send me a little cease and desist to take it down. It will never happen. I won't take it down. I also want to make this very clear. I stay inside of a courtroom. If you know me, you know that. I've never lost a court case. I've never lost a lawsuit. And I'm not planning on starting now. Do you understand? So with that said, here's the roster. I'm going to let it sit for about 10 seconds. If you're on that list, you know that you're being scammed. If your friend is on that list, your mom, your dad, your uncle, your sister, tag them so they can know they're being scammed and they can go figure out how to get their money back from Josh Popkin, the criminal. As you guys know, it's specs and blazers, baby. I'm getting ready to retire from this industry. This is my legacy. I'm going to change the industry on my way out on my 10th year anniversary of being a full-time blogger. And so influencer, whatever you want to call us these days. And so I have nothing to lose. And I especially don't lose.
If you go to the section that says mom, dad, which is obviously like family vlogger type content, the very first family vloggers listed on there are the Doherty Dozen. And Just the Bells are also on there, so I hope that she's aware of this. I will actually probably send her a note after filming this video just to share this TikTok with her. I'm sure that this video has tons of views. I'm sure that she's already aware of this. The reason that I have confusion about this is because if you look at Alicia Doherty's bio on TikTok, it says dd@sunandsky.entertainment.com. And then if you search Sun and Sky Entertainment, they do actually have a website here. They basically say that Sun and Sky Entertainment is a full-service production and management company that provides the following services. And it goes to artist management, influencer management, Sun and Sky Records, gaming division, YouTube influencer division, which obviously that's probably where Alicia falls under, television production, live concerts, consulting services, and brand and sponsorship. They have a brand and sponsorship division. And you can look at all of the brands that fall under this category, and it goes from Ralph Lauren, Champs, Nike, Nickelodeon, Bang Energy Drink, Planters, NCAA, Dick's, Buick, so on and so forth. So this is actually really crazy. When you sit back and look at it, this company has this roster of influencers that they are allegedly representing. Then you go and look at the influencer page, like I just did with the Doherty Dozen, and it's Sun and Sky Entertainment that is supposed to be representing them. So is this company using the Doherty Dozen's name in order to make money for themselves? I'm not sure. I have no clue what's really going on behind the scenes. None of us do. But when it comes to these influencers kind of, thirsting for wanting to be represented and, basically being sold to, oh, if you come on under our agency, we'll get you all the brand deals, so on and so forth. It's like they want to put out this image that, oh, we're just a family sharing our lives. But I've said before, once an influencer signs on with a talent agency or some kind of management company, I can no longer take your content at face value. Because if you're trying to basically move your business into more of or if you're trying to move your family more into like a business model, for me personally, I no longer look at that as just someone sharing their life and whatever. It goes and shifts into a money-making machine. And unfortunately, the way that I really feel about these brands representing family vloggers is I think it's awful. If you're willing to represent someone who is exploiting their children and not taking their privacy seriously and things like this, then I don't think as a business you have a moral backbone. And I think it's despicable. And that's my personal opinion. The interesting thing is if you go over to Just the Bells TikTok, their email contact is hbell9999@aol.com. So they don't have a management style email like the Doherty Dozen does. So is this roster that was released just something that people with a large audience was added to? I would think that if I was listed on this roster, I would absolutely be seeking legal counsel to try to sort it out, because it seems like this guy was just, utilizing people who have large social media presence as a way to increase his bottom line. Here's my kind of whole thoughts on this. I don't respect Alicia Doherty, and I don't like a lot of the things that she has done, but I still feel frustration for people that are being scammed. You know what I mean? Like, that sucks. At the end of the day, it's not something that you sign up for. It's not something that you voluntarily do. It's unfair that a lot of these companies will just do whatever to make money off the backs of these influencers. And even if I think the influencers are thirsting for extra, streams of revenue and all of those kinds of things, I can still look at this situation and say that it's wrong what this person has done. And I think that with this specific influencer, taking up the civil and criminal investigations into this company, definitely think that he kind of messed with the wrong one. And I think that this is going to continue to kind of fall apart. I feel like if I was running a talent agency or some kind of management company, there's a way to have a business with that structure and not support family vloggers, because like I said, I think once you're supporting people like this, even if I was remotely interested, like, I'm not going to sign on with some company that is supporting someone like the Doherty Dozen or any of these other family vloggers. And I know Just the Bells, like, Just the Bells is in a little bit of a different category from me personally, because she doesn't carry herself like Alicia does. But this is very interesting. Like, I wonder what's going to happen with this. Like, in the age of influencer culture, these things are going to continue to happen, and there needs to be some guidelines put in place so that things like this are not a regular occurrence. And I don't know what that looks like, because I'm not like a legal person at all, but it sucks. And at the end of the day, even if I don't respect someone, I can still say, well, that sucks that they're possibly being scammed, because it does. And that's how I feel about it. So have you guys heard about this? Did you see this unfolding on TikTok? Have you come across any of the articles? There are many out there, but I just found it to be really interesting. And it, ties back to just this greedy influencer culture and greedy businesses and greed left, right, and center all over the internet. If you have a platform, chances are at one point in time you're going to be taken advantage of financially. And based on everything that I've seen so far, that's what this looks like. So I can't wait to see what you guys have to say. So for now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.